what's going on? It was an interesting week. So, tonight, Jerry is trying to get some internet. As Tia is on a self-imposed sabbatical, trying to get a wedding together. She never told me who her wedding now. The bishop is going to drop in probably later. I know Mo is going to drop in later. You get Evan out, which is probably the best version of the Kingston Board. The yin to the yang, the yang to the yang.
Start smoking yet, so,
yeah. You didn't start smoking yet?
I waited.
You waited? All right. I mean, you can smoke.
Oh no, I listen. I know what I can do. I was just waiting. That's all.
Oh God. Oh God. So I mean, look, Black America, we need to have a conversation. All right.
Ooh, please, all y'all pull up a chair.
I mean,
I have things. I didn't know we were going here, but I have things.
I wasn't going to go there, but go ahead. I didn't. We go ahead. I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna let you start.
Okay. I have two things.
Go ahead.
First thing I have is about voting. Now I know that we are but a small fraction of the people who vote in this country, but our fraction altogether can change the tide of an election. For reference, please see South Carolina primaries, Joe Biden. The problem that we have, in my opinion, is we know what we want. We all want what we want, and we know what we want. And we have to figure out the best way to get to that. But let me just tell you guys right now, the Republicans are never going to give it to you. Just point blank, period. They're never going to give it to you.
Let me counteract. I don't think the Democrats ever give it to you either. Because we don't vote the right people in. We vote based on party, but we have to start voting based on principle, based on people.
Yes. However, when we look at how Republicans vote and we look at how we vote, we nuance the situation, and Republicans are straight up with it. They don't care.
They don't care.
He can be a donkey with 3 legs. If he is a Republican, they are voting for him. We need to learn how to vote like that. We may get the people we want at the time, but we won't get things taken away from us either.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
I got these hands for you, both of them. You can get whichever one, left or the right. You got both of them. Because now he's trying to backpedal his whole, I didn't vote for Hillary, or I'm not going to vote for Hillary. He's trying to backpedal all that now. So that's what you have to think about also.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
I don't vote for me. I don't vote for myself. I vote for the future generations of people who are going to need these rights.
I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
And everybody needs to vote. You're voting for your kids. Your kids don't have a vote until they're 18. So until they're 18, you're voting for them. So if you're voting for things that don't benefit them, then you're hurting them in the long run, and that's not. No.
Plus, in the grand scheme of things, and I tell people this all the time, your local elections, starting with your school board, your local legislator, your city council, your city mayor, your city manager, your city judges, county DA, those matter way more than the presidential election. Your state representatives, your state senators, they matter way more than the president. I mean, the president has limited power. The president has limited scope, limited power. He's the figurehead that represents, but there's not a lot of scope or power that the president really has. And it's a smoke screen, but they create the smoke screen to make it seem like the presidential election is most important, and it's not.
But also keep in mind that the president is the only one in this whole equation that actually has a term limit.
Correct.
So we need to be talking to these people like the turtle who's been in office since Jesus was in the little sandals, to get these people out. Or we need to, and even in the Constitution, the forefathers meant for the Constitution to be rewritten ever so often because they were aware that times would change. They were aware that the Second Amendment would not mean a musket after a certain amount of time.
Let's see. We got a new deacon coming in the room right now. Uh-oh. And he got real internet.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Jay Moore?
Hey.
We're talking about voting. Why we get duped into thinking that the presidential election is the most important election versus the local and and statewide elections.
Because here's one of the biggest reasons that we look at the president as the savior of the country, but he actually has no power really. He's just a figure, and so your local and your state is ones that you really gotta focus about, because of the fact is that they the one that makes the laws that really matter. But a lot of times, it was funny because my original major was political science, and we had that discussion, and my professor said this. He says, your president is a step above the Queen of England. He looks good and everything, but if Congress and the House of Representatives tell him to sit his black tail down or his white tail down, guess what? You're going to have to sit down.
Correct.
Because they run everything. So, but we get this notion that the president is the end all be all, but your laws and stuff come from your local, your state, and from Congress.
Right. So my and listen, I'm saying this to my black audience. I like you. I like my white audience too. I like my audience in general, everybody, but black people, we have a unhealthy relationship with the presidential election, and then we sit our behinds at home midterms, and that's where all the power is concentrated at. The power is concentrated in Congress.
This is a voting year. I live in LA. We are voting in November. We're getting a new mayor. Mm-hmm. We're getting new everything.
I wonder if she's going to win.
She better.
I wonder if she's going to win.
That dude, I hate it.
It's interesting how they're putting that together out there.
Like I said, this guy's a former Republican, but like I said, the mayor is someone who should be accessible. I know where the mayor lives, but that's only because they were protests in front of his house. If this guy gets in the office, all that's going to end.
Oh yeah. He'll never stay. Yeah. I understand that.
We need to look at this city like it. LA has such a rich history, good and bad, and this is a city that's really been there for people who look like me. I mean, maybe not the cops right now, and that's a whole nother story. If y'all want to get into that, we'll do a separate podcast about that, because I can talk about the LAPD all day. But for the most part, this city has been very, very, very good to us. This state has been very, very, very good to us. And we need to continue that and let our children benefit off of these same things that we've been able to benefit off of. There are certain people who literally don't want us to have a pot to piss in or a window to toss it out of. So we toss them out and get in people who will make sure if something happens to me, I won't have to go far to get help. Because what's the government for? I give y'all my tax money. And then what are you doing with it?
Let's have that conversation. I am of the mindset that we need a flat tax in this country.
I agree. And it should come out of our checks. I can tell you why we don't.
Go ahead.
There are lobbyists who speak to politicians in such a way that they ignore the IRS in the way that it's been ignored all these years.
Oh, yeah.
Intuit, TurboTax, H&R Block, all these people who have tax software, they have lobbyists.
I know.
Keep this tax software. No, I know I'm letting everybody else know. To keep us dependent on them, so we don't know what we have to pay. We should know what we have to pay.
I think the tax code is so antiquated that there needs just to be a flat tax, and you can resolve it. I mean, look, I'm okay with if you tell me that I can keep all my money less 7%. So when my salary is $200,000 and I only have to give up 7% of that a year for taxes, I'll be okay with that.
And it comes directly out your check. You don't even have to worry. about it. You don't have to see it. It doesn't
Right.
bother you. It doesn't affect you. It's like when McDonald's raises the price on the fries.
Right. It
That's what
doesn't really
that it was 99 cents, now it's 209. You don't even realize it because you're getting your fries.
correct. You're getting your fries, so nobody really cares about what the price of
Nobody
the fries are.
cares.
You're going to
Nobody.
get the same fries. And they might give you less if you really think about it. They
Well,
may
we'll
just
talk.
give you a little bit less.
Remember when? Okay, so you know how you used to be able to buy a 5-pound bag of sugar? They are no longer 5 pounds. They are 4 pounds.
I mean,
And the price has not changed.
I don't shop.
Remember when you
That's
used to get a half a gallon of ice cream? It's less than a half a gallon now, but the price has not changed.
Now, if you get the Bluebell, if you get the Bluebell,
Bluebell's never changed. Bluebell has not changed.
Well, Bluebell is a that's the I'm talking.
Bluebell's a niche product.
I don't speak country.
Hysterical.
I speak California.
You speak California? You speak California, huh?
I don't speak hoedown. I speak California. Sorry.
Wow.
But man, do y'all even have ice cream out there? I thought it was always like sorbet.
You know what? Funny story. When I went to New Orleans for Essence Festival in 2007, when Prince was there, me and my cousin, I took my cousin because she had just graduated from college. So me and her went to Essence Festival. And I'm talking to this guy and he's asking me where I'm from and all this stuff. I was like, oh, I'm from LA, but I live in San Diego. And he goes, damn, you the thickest girl I ever met from California. And I was just like, and at the time I was not even that big. So I was just like, they really think we eat tweets and shit out here, huh? You know what? It's not alleged. I got pictures. I got pictures. Matter of fact,
Ebony, Ebony.
Let me find it.
Don't do it. Don't even do it.
Oh no, I was fine as frog hair. Don't play with me.
Don't. Please, God, no. Please, God, no. Not tonight.
Today, we doing it today.
Not tonight.
That's where we go.
Not tonight. So let's see what else happened this week. I saw an interview with Nick Cannon that was trending online this week. That I was just I can't even repeat what he said because I thought it was absolutely crazy. But did you guys see that?
What was it?
The Nick Cannon interview where he said 80% of women have need to talk about hygiene.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wait. What did you say? 80% of women.
So he was on lip service with Angela Yee, and so he was talking about odor and stuff, and he was like 80% of women have an odor. Talking about their vagina odor.
Okay.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
So I said a vagina. They said that 80% of women vaginas smell.
80% of women's vaginas smell. That's what he said.
Yeah, stink. Well, he said stink.
Oh, okay. 80% of women on this planet vaginas stink.
Stink. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, Nick. Yeah. You're also from San Diego. Don't do this. Sure, Nick.
I'm about to say. So if that's the case,
and
that means at least. So he got 7 baby mamas. So that means at least 5 of them.
6
vagina stink.
Yeah.
That was being nice.
Yeah.
Take.
Nick is
I mean,
So yeah.
I've never had.
Listen, first of all, don't worry about what's going on here. This is a delicate area. I can talk about it in bigger terms, but this is a Christian show, so I'll pull it in, bring it back.
I mean,
I'm positive that he's not telling the truth. But go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm only.
It could be the fact that he's dipping and diving into 7 to 8, 9 different women at the same daggone time. That's causing him to have some
own balls. But anyway.
No, I'm joking. A gas.
But anyway, or maybe his friend who was there first. You know what? Let me stop.
Wow.
I'm not gonna do that. Allegedly.
Shout out to Ray J. No.
Wow. You know what? Y'all going straight to wherever. Listen,
had two and that I can remember that I was dealt with that wasn't on top of their game. And so, I mean, every woman besides them two
I can
was
barely hear
great.
you, man.
Listen,
I said most of the I say only two women that I've ever dealt with had that problem. Everybody else was good, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
he not smelling a woman, but go ahead, y'all.
What the hell does that mean?
What I said.
Basically, what she's saying is that he's covering up for something else.
Wow.
He's not smelling. He's not. You won't let me say it, so I won't.
Say it
He ain't
quickly.
smelling pussy. He's smelling bussy.
Da, da, da. I cannot. Let me go ahead and fade. I'm leaving.
He left his own show. But I just don't understand why men do that kind of stuff. Like, you act like you spend time fresh every day of the week. I'm not saying anything about. Well, shoot, what if they was trying to? Shoot, how do we know? We don't
And
know.
we're back.
Yeah.
Listen, I almost had to dump the show. Okay.
I said you don't want me to say
I almost
it.
had to dump the show. I didn't know you were gonna go there. I almost just said dump. Listen. So yeah, Nick. I mean, you got to choose better company, Doc. That's all.
It's not necessary to disparage women either. So
no,
there's plenty of comments that he could keep to himself. That was definitely one of them.
Now, our former president went out yesterday and said, if I was the coach of an NBA, if I was the owner of an NBA team, I would walk up to LeBron James and ask him would he like to be a woman and have him on my team. He'll be the best basketball player, the best women's basketball player ever. My team would never lose. Now, I'm taking that one or two ways.
When Barack said that?
No, Trump. Barack didn't say that. I know what you're trying to get at. I mean, I was just wondering, why would you say that about that man? I know you don't like the man, but why would you say that? I mean, to me, he was basically calling him a B word in public, you know, and trying to goad him into saying something. I know he's trying to trying to put a battery in LeBron's back for LeBron to respond to him. And I hope Bron and his team are smart enough not to say anything. Just leave that old cranky ass man alone. Just leave him alone. But
everybody needs to leave him alone, except for the January 6th committee and the Justice.
Let me tell you something. That January 6th, it is. That January 6th committee is like must-see TV. Must-see TV. I sat and watched that mess last week, and I watched it a couple weeks ago. I'm mad that it's not coming back on TV until September. It's like the new season is coming back in September. Right. Season 2 coming in September. I'm so mad it's not coming back until September. There's a lot going on. There is here's the problem that I have. There are a lot of people that are testifying that were former staff members, former White House staff members, this, that, and the other. And what's crazy to me is you didn't care until January 6th about 1:00 in the afternoon what this man was saying. Then all of a sudden, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just had to resign.
This was the last straw.
Right. I'm like,
was the last straw.
That was the last straw.
Babies in cages. Right. Not the tossing paper towels to people like this in Puerto Rico. Not calling some countries SHIT holes. Not that, but this.
But that
was the last straw.
It just did not make. And even then, it wasn't even the last straw until he sent out a tweet. Oh, the tweet that he sent out is what did it for you. Come on now.
That was the one.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like y'all, they got to do better. The Black America, we should be proud. I could be
Connor texting Katie. This was just a bridge too far. I have to leave. You was leaving anyway.
You were leaving in 15 days. It didn't matter. You were out. You were out of a job in 15 days. So you resigning 2 weeks early didn't mean anything to me. But
the one thing for me is, some of these people that were on staff they all had lawyers retained for them by the Trump organization.
Oh yeah.
But they're slowly but surely are starting to break away. The first one was what's her name? Cassidy Hutchinson.
Yep.
She was the first one. And there are plenty more coming, because I read today that they are in negotiations with Mr. Mike Pompeo to sit and have a nice little conversation.
We'll see what he does, but I mean, I'm just very upset that that season 2 is not dropping until mid-September.
Right.
We need that to drop immediately.
I need that. I'm in it now.
I need that to drop the way y'all excited about Beyonce's album dropping tomorrow. Okay. I need that.
Okay. By the way, I got my Beyonce text to let me know that my Beyonce Renaissance box is on.
Explain that to me. What is that?
So on June 16th, and the only reason I know this is because it's my best friend's birthday, she dropped these boxes. And in these boxes, there will be a t-shirt, there will be a lookbook, and there will be a copy of her new album. I hope there's like a digital key, because I don't have a CD player, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with the physical copy of her album. But anyway, I got my best friend one because it was her birthday. I got myself one. The t-shirt inside has one of 4 poses. She just released the poses, so you know what your t-shirt's gonna look like. And yeah, that's it. Like I said, I got my email.
Let me ask a question. Wait a second. Wait. Hold on. How much were these boxes?
$50.
Shoot. She made a mint. But she made
a mint.
She made a mint.
Because I got 2. My daughter got one, and my best friend's niece got one too. So we all got one of each. We all got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we all got one of each pose. I mean, that's just us right there.
So, hey, but you heard.
I guarantee you she sold a few million of these boxes. I guarantee you she sold a few million of these boxes.
Absolutely.
At $50 a clip.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's genius level marketing.
It says your shipment is on the way.
So are they supposed to all arrive tomorrow at the same time so everybody can unbox?
I highly doubt it. It'll probably come depending on where they mail from. I mean, if she mailed them out of LA, I might get mine tomorrow. We might get ours tomorrow.
Yeah, you might get yours tomorrow. Now, I mean,
who leaked her video? I mean, who leaked her album?
She probably leaked it herself.
It was somebody in like France or something that leaked it.
How Sway?
Right.
How Sway?
Oh, mine is getting shipped from LA. So yeah, I probably will get mine. Like,
you might have yours tomorrow. See?
I might. Hey.
I mean, I'm not a big Beyonce fan.
I can go pick it up because it's not far. If she need me to come just grab it, I can just come grab mine.
I'm not a big Beyonce fan, but I can appreciate the fact that old girl, that's a marketing genius right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Marketing genius. I will give her props.
You know who I give props to other than her?
Who?
Candy Burris.
Yeah.
Candy has a hell of a team behind her because she has been relevant for a very long time, and she has tons of businesses.
Yeah, I mean, she's smart. Candy has a great team behind her. I would give her that too. Candy knows what she's doing at all times.
I mean, she gonna keep her face into something. So
right.
Correct.
Like when I heard the amount of money that she made off the bedroom candy, I was just like, that's crazy.
Yo,
and then turned it into an MLM.
At one point, I was gonna sign up to sell bedroom candy just because of the amount of money that she was making as an MLM. And when you got in early, I mean, it was like an early iteration of it.
Turned it into an MLM.
And she's smart. She's very smart. I will give her props on that. So now I'm just going to throw this up here, and we're not going to get into the whole big thing. I'm just going to throw something up, and the first thing that comes to your mind, just let me know. I'm going to show it to you. The first thing that comes to your mind, let me know the first thing that comes to mind when you see it. You ready?
You ready for this? Yeah. My name is Bennett. I ain't got nothing. I ain't in it.
First thing you think of when you see this?
Me
My
when I
name
was
is
in church, ready to go.
my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
That's essentially, that's exactly how that, Jared, that was exactly my reaction. My name is Bennett.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I ain't in it.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I
You speechless?
That's rare.
Right.
I
But
he's just, look. I mean, dude, just I look. I don't want to get into all that. It's just very weird. The timing of it, the sermon, the timing of everything, and the reaction are just very weird to me. That's all I'm gonna let y'all have the floor on this one. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm not a church person, so I have no idea what you're talking about. I need somebody to break this down.
so basically,
Oh,
what happened was that this Bishop Lamar Whitehead, was at his church and was preaching, and
Oh,
some
this is
guys,
a robbery?
some guys came in and robbed him. Now, here's what my
Oh,
issue is. Here's my issue is that it started off at 400,000 that
oh
was
yeah.
taken off.
Yeah.
Now it's
Math
a
ain't
million.
mathing. That math ain't
Now
mathing at all.
right. So my thing is that first of all, now I heard somebody online was like, how can you go with that much? Well, it depends on the type of watch that you got, because if you got an AP on and it's a nice AP,
I
that
have
can
a
run you about
question.
250,000.
Question though. Aren't these pastors supposed to be servants of the Lord and
Well,
humble and down to earth and not wearing houses on their wrist? What's wrong with Apple Watch? It counts your steps. It does anything you need. Why do you need a mortgage on your wrist?
shout out to
Why?
Apple.
I, I,
Exactly.
I mean,
If it's good
you
enough for
have to.
Steve Jobs and he was a cajillionaire, it is good enough for me.
Here's the thing that without going into that, I think you represent the people that you are around. So if you're in a community, in a depressed community, you shouldn't be walking around with, $400,000 or $1 million worth of jewelry on you. Why? What are you doing? The second thing is, if I have $1 million worth of jewelry on me, where's my security at? Where's your security, nigga?
Where is your
Where's your
security?
security? Why
Because
don't you have security? $1 million worth of jewelry? Where's your security? It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's not just him, that's anybody. If you have that much jewelry on, why don't you have security with you at all times?
My
I
thing
don't care
gonna
if you're
be
out in the club. I don't care if you're at a restaurant. I don't care where you are. You got $1 million worth of anything on you at any given time. You should have security with you at all times. It just makes sense to me. It just makes sense to me. I don't know.
but
I almost want to pull the
it's,
video up.
we don't need
yo,
to watch. Why don't you pull
but
up that
here's
Instagram video of him in that Gucci jacket?
yo, the Gucci suit.
Yes, pull up that. Pull that up with the big chain. And wasn't he getting in a Maybach truck? Like, pull that up.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
in the Bentley
You already
truck.
saw it. Why am I showing it again? I'm not giving that joker no more airtime.
I want you to
But
see it.
He gets no
but you
more
know,
airtime from me.
here's my biggest problem. Here's my biggest problem with that is that he has now made the church a mockery again. Because I understand that as he say that his money comes from real estate and everything, and that's cool. I mean, I wear jewelry. I wear jewelry. Of course, mine ain't no $250,000, but I wear jewelry. But my thing is this: is that it's just when I first saw it, I was like, someone right with this, something with it. Because here's my biggest thing is this: is that as soon as it was over with, he goes on IG Live and makes a video. Who does that? If I
Attend
just got
store.
if I just got robbed, I ain't trying to be on nobody's IG, Facebook. Nothing. I'm at the police station saying, listen, man, y'all need to find these niggas whoever just jacked me.
They took
But
all
he
my
don't.
stuff.
Yeah. So, but you got to see the confrontation between him and Larry Reed. That was funny.
It's all just sad, honestly. Like
It is. It is.
we all what's the one thing we ask? Don't embarrass us. Please don't embarrass us. And then we got this grown man trying to embarrass somebody. Don't we got enough problems. We still trying to get our foot and they don't want us to be in no place. And here you go with the BS. Come on now. Tired of it.
I said
I,
that's what.
all I know is you can't do dirt. You can't do dirt because it'll come back on you, and then Speaking of doing dirt, it's the shirt. It's the shirt. Dirk McGurk with the shirt.
It's the shirt. It's the
It's the
shirt.
shirt.
This is my weekend at Bernie's shirt.
Yeah, listen, I love it though. I love the vacation. It's the vacation shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Weekend
It's
in the
the
Hamptons.
Right. It's the weekend in the Hamptons shirt.
Saying, like fancy vacation clothes.
I
We
mean,
have the butler go pull those out around April so they can get air. Is that what we do?
Didn't you lend them to me? Didn't you send Jeffrey to my house to pick out my stuff?
hysterical. Mr. Somebody else has joined us tonight.
Did you see the
Mr.
match?
Somebody
Mr.
else.
Somebody else has joined us tonight. He'll change that name later. You know what? Bruh, it is so he asked the question, are they saying he set it up? I don't know what they're saying, but here's some suspect things that we know. All right, this is just, and not just him, this is in general. Typically, black street dudes, black stick-up kids, black boosters, they don't rob the church during church service. They're even though they may not go to church, a lot of them have enough respect for the church and grandma and auntie.
They also suspicious and superstitious because many of them in the gangs, they deal in the occult and they understand some of the rules to that.
Right.
So that, I don't know. There's some. I mean, so much is coming out. I'm embarrassed by the whole thing. At first, I was kind of like chuckling, but I'm embarrassed.
It's a bad. His behavior after the fact is what's causing a lot of the embarrassment.
But I
Every-
take the church. I take the church as a whole. I take responsibility for all of it, even when it ain't right.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
understand.
Absolutely. We gonna catch it. We gonna catch it regardless. And the sad thing is that so what's crazy is that my son, my oldest son, now he don't go to church, but he called me. He's like, "Hey, you know some funny business in that." And I said, "Why you say that?" I already knew. He said, "Man, we from the streets." He say, "I don't even go in church tripping because I got certain respect." He say it was some setup to that. He say, "I bet you do set that up trying to get some insurance money." And I said,
That's what everybody's been saying.
like for my 27-year-old son, that's in the streets to say that. I'm like, I said the same thing. I was like, it don't sound, but it does. It makes the whole church look bad though. I mean, because they all look at us crazy.
I'm gonna say allegedly, because we don't know
Allegedly
what
what?
really happened. Here's the problem, though. If it was, it'll come out, and it's gonna be all bad. It's gonna be all bad because then it puts a stain on everybody. That everybody's a shyster, everybody's a grifter, everybody's on the take, everybody's trying to. So you're right. It's an embarrassment. It is an embarrassment if he did it. That sound like OJ. If I did it, if he did it and he did that, that's crazy. That's just absolutely asinine. So so that I'm done with him. So last night I had the pleasure of listening to the author, the writer Kevin Powell on a podcast. He was in live on the Process podcast with Eric Roberson last night. It was pretty dope listening to him, but something he said last night, he let me pull it up. he spent like 2.5 hours with us. And so it was one of the things he said was every day you have to figure out what you like to do and then make the decision to do that every day. And I was like, oh, but then I had to think about it. Well, what is it that I like to do? You
You
know,
like to tell everybody what to do. You like to
nah,
be in everybody's business.
nah, I'm definitely not that. You know better than that. You definitely know better than that. Um,
No, I mean, but you do it at a level that you're able to analyze things. I mean, you're an analyst. That's what you do.
and so I have to, I really have to sit back and figure out what is it that I really like to do. That doesn't involve work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that involved. Even from listening to music or scouring YouTube for the best live jazz that I can find and stuff like that. Just new music that I can find. Um, and then he said something else that stuck with me. Um, he said, with a wellness journey, because he's on his own wellness journey, the things that
Mm-hmm.
he's been dealing with over the last 2 years. And I think a lot of us are on, that type of journey, trying to find ourselves, what we like, what we don't like, who we really are. But one of the things he said is the path to wellness has to include transparency. Like you can't become well yourself unless you're transparent to the people that are around you or the people that are in your circle.
That makes sense.
Um, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh, but how do you do that?
In
But
the
first being
rooms,
transparent.
I was gonna say, and
How?
we have a very strong 12-step program at our church, and called By His Stripes We're Healed. And one of the principles they live by is that you're only as sick as your secrets. And it goes in the same direction as transparency. Talking about transparency is that you become sick from what you're hiding from the people in your close circle. That you have to
True.
have a circle that you can be your true self with in order to maintain health, because it's like in any system, when there's any part of that system that's not touched on a regular basis and cleansed, that it breeds dirt, it breeds bacteria, it breeds disease and germs. And so the more you're transparent, the more you're being made aware of from others of places in your life that you need to clean up.
Okay.
You know, I think that makes sense. You can't be transparent with everyone,
Right, right.
but you gotta be transparent with somebody.
But somebody, someone that you trust,
That
that will
makes sense.
Hmm.
understand when you're being transparent and will help you and not try to hurt you with what you're giving, what you're
Yeah, because
exposing about yourself.
you can't trust
Somebody
everybody.
that
You
can
can't
hold you
trust everybody.
accountable. Yeah, somebody that can hold you
Some people
accountable.
just want to learn
Yeah,
about you so they can use it against you. And you have to the best gift you can ever get is the discernment to know when somebody is really being there for you or when somebody is really just trying to take you for a ride.
Right.
yeah. Jerry
It's
talked
gonna
about it.
happen. It's gonna happen once or twice, but once you see those signs, you'll never forget them.
But like Jerry said, he said that people in your life that hold you accountable are so essential,
Hmm.
and but they can't hold you accountable. Your representative, they can't hold your representative accountable. They hold your real self accountable.
Right,
Right.
right,
Right.
right. Okay.
And it's so important because I was just talking to someone about that yesterday. Is that many times, especially in church, the reason why people don't like to share in the church is because we tend to tell everybody's business. But when you find that person that say, you know what, I got you, regardless of what you're going through, I'm gonna be there for you, but I'm also gonna call you on your mess. It causes you to grow up. It causes you to become now transparent to where you say, you know what, I don't have nothing to hide because of the fact is that why do I have to lie? I don't have to lie to you. I don't have to lie to myself because most of the times we can be a good front in front of folks, but we lie to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can be transparent to ourselves. It's gonna be hard for us to be transparent to somebody else. But once you get that accountability partner, it changes a whole lot.
And I think that safety piece, Don, is such a big piece. And of course, I've been pastoring for 20 plus years, and in the ministry for 30. And one of the things I realized is that the church, how can I put this? The church puts this demand for perfection on you, and they all know it's not true.
But why do we do it? Is it just is it really the church, or is it the people that look at the church or in the
Well,
church?
if I can finish the
Go
thought
ahead.
on that one, because I think I've come to a conclusion about it, is that because once they know your faults, it's hard for them to explain why you're anointed.
Oh, oh,
Ooh,
oh,
that's good. That's good.
oh.
They don't understand that God anoints people who are flawed. They read it in the Bible, but they just don't get it. And so they want you to portray perfection so that they can explain their trust of you to people who don't know the grace of God. And once your faults are made known, it's like you're no good. So transparency in the church is actually counter the anointing,
I
as
think
they
you
call it.
I think you need to write that in a book.
Yeah, that sounds like something I might steal for a book.
Hey,
Yeah, you better
hey,
yeah.
But it's a real thought, and I think, just being one in the microscope, I understand that I especially at the level that I operate, you
Right.
see people in their real environment, in their animalistic nature. You see the truth of their imperfection, and you see God using them. But I'm mature enough to know that He used David, He used Moses, He used Noah, He used all of those mighty men of God who had serious character flaws, and He was developing them. But many people, once they know your flaws, they can't even receive ministry from you as if they're perfect. And
Right.
so
But
transparency then becomes detrimental to you serving God.
wow.
mm,
That makes
wow.
sense. That makes sense.
So what do you do?
You teach people about the grace of God, and you always push the glory back to Him. Don't worship me. Don't God is using me, He's going to use you. And the transparency becomes a lot easier when I'm not trying to earn the right to minister to you, because it's God that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can grow people and not put the pressure of perfection on them, perfection in the definition of flawlessness, but perfection in the from the perspective of maturity, that you're growing, that you're not a child tossed to and fro, by every wind. Every little movement in my life shakes your faith in the ability of God to use me to teach you or to grow you. That's not it. And neither am I trying to harm the community with my bad behavior. But what I am saying is that transparency, if it's necessary for my own personal mental health, my own personal health, then I'm going to grab that transparency as often and make it as wide as I can so that I can really be healthy while I'm serving God, raising my family, enjoying life, but also making sure that I'm surrounded by people who hold me accountable for my decisions so that I'm not bringing harm to the community.
Right. Right. I get it. I get it. That's good. It's a lot to think about, a lot to digest.
So
But
my
I like
brain,
that, James.
I appreciate that, Al.
I like
yeah.
that.
When you get a compliment from her, you gotta take that. You gotta
Right,
take
I
that away.
took it. Look, I took note.
You
It was
know,
22-14.
because I don't attend church and I have my reasons for that. I can see where I could have been a little more graceful in some places where I gave a little more grace to some people. But I mean, when I look at the whole circle, it's still exactly what it is. But I may have gotten there a little later than I did.
I heard
Okay.
Keon said it on one of his broadcasts this morning, podcast, whatever he did. He posts. He says that the where I even sent it to somebody. Let me just see if I can find it. Oh, here it's right here. It says, "We want grace from the pulpit, but have none for the pulpit."
Oh,
Say that again.
He said the church wants grace from the pulpit, but has no grace for the pulpit.
Because the expectation is that y'all know better.
But no better, don't we all?
Yeah, but like I said, the expectation is that y'all know better.
Yeah, but that's the cop out, is what I
Well, the
think.
thing is, it's hard to see somebody being human, and I think that goes for
Yeah,
anybody. It's
that's the
very
probably the
difficult
simplest way.
seeing
That would be the name of
somebody
the book.
in a human moment,
That's the
and
name of the book.
it's hard seeing somebody human. Okay,
Ooh,
I can work with that, but it goes along with the never meet your heroes. It's the same.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing, and that goes. I mean, there's situations where you know of a person and you hear all these great things about a person and you meet the person and you're like, "Ooh, he's an idiot. Like, why does everybody love him so much?" And you just then you get, because maybe he isn't this idiot, maybe this is just a temporary bump or whatever, and he is really this great person, but you didn't give him the grace to find out because what you saw, you was just like, I'm cool.
But we wanna think that people are great because they're not human,
right.
so that it excuses our mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Then when we
And it,
find out they're flawed just like us, then
Yo,
it goes, well, dang, why ain't I great?
Bishop used to say, talking about just pastors in general, he'll say, imperfect men preaching the perfect word.
It
Like,
that's it.
is.
they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
But
You're not perfect. So why you expect
no, I'm
somebody else to
far
be
from it.
perfect?
I'm
You know,
growing up.
you
Growing
know,
up doesn't
this.
mean you won't make mistakes either.
Jerry's perfect though.
No, I
I
wish.
mean,
Now,
Jerry
here's
rocking
the
a white tee like it's 2002.
And that
I'm trying to
lineup is crispy. You
trying to
might
figure out what's
be.
going
You
on.
might be. You
you
see,
see the
it's
brain. You see the
looking like
brains.
He got the spray. He got the spray on.
those are the mathematicians. Look at that, the perfect angles. He might
No,
be
But
perfect.
but you know
there's
what
no
Bottom
spray.
said also about he's Bottom said also, he said about transparency. Bishop said, "Be who you is and not who you ain't. Cause if you ain't who you is who you ain't."
Mm.
I got to get a little higher to make that make sense. But
I know. I understand.
Be who you is and not who you
Mm-hmm.
ain't.
Be
Cause
who
if
you
you
are.
ain't who you is, then you is who you ain't. And that the pressure to be fake so that you can be effective is actually what makes you most ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
These are nice gems. Man, I hope
But
you're
you know,
writing this down, man.
you
Oh,
know. Here's the
we
thing.
also
recording,
broadcast,
we can
bro.
listen to it later.
No, that's true.
It's a podcast.
So yesterday, man, I actually got a chance to teach Bible study, which I hadn't done in a while. And we talked about that, is that how we use Jesus had 12 disciples. Each one of them had an issue, but he still worked with them. They still, you think about this. Judas sold them out. Peter lied on them, but he still used them. The problem is that we think that those men and women that's in positions are perfect, that we don't make mistakes. We do. I say we're human first. Listen, and I'll always say this. I say, you know what? Drugs was not my choice. Drinking was not my choice. None of that was my choice. My issue was women. My issue was women. But it was like, I would pray, God, take this away from me. And I would still be preaching, still be teaching.
You asked him to take that away from you?
Yeah, that lust, the lust that I was having. I
You
mean,
meant
not
that
the
prayer? I ain't never prayed that.
what it was that my thing was that I was tricked the day before I was supposed to preach, and then you know, some
This is the wildest episode, and it is mostly
Yo,
church.
those that the last 40 seconds is the wildest thing.
I hate my.
Wow.
I just want to let you know. I hate my,
Wait, no, see, but here's the point. It was a transparent moment.
It was.
We're talking about mental health. We're talking about
Right.
right self-care and transparency being necessary.
Correct.
And in the moment we're transparent, it's like we church in the wild right now.
It's hysterical. Now y'all hysterical. Because you're like, you really asked that Negro?
I mean, but there was depth to my question.
It
Is
was.
because
There
that ain't a
was.
good prayer. help me to get it under control because I'm gonna need this for the rest of my life. I
Right.
mean,
You're gonna walk around, trying to pop V's and can't do nothing. And then you're gonna be in the honey and ain't gonna do nothing but give you a headache.
I don't know what now. Eb, can you explain that to me? Because that's above my pay grade. What Dante just said. See,
Don't
okay.
don't 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 even
Yeah,
do it.
Jerry, no, that's why Jerry's like, yeah, nah, don't even touch it.
That's why I
But
said,
just know I don't never get a headache.
James said, I ain't never prayed for that.
Yo, listen, y'all wild out. Look.
Oh,
I got something in the case back there, Don.
What? What you got in the case back there? Never mind. I just realized what you're talking about. Hysterical.
I want to know.
Hey, so
Yeah, listen, it is look, it is
No, see, Maurice, this is why I said it, because Maurice was going to blow up my spot. See what he did? No, it's not above your pay grade. See how your friends expose you?
you notice I ain't say a word. I just let it go. I let that all
But see,
go.
I showed it myself. I
Right.
told it myself. It's in the box behind me, Mo, just so that you ain't have to tell everybody my business.
it's just for occasional use. That's all. It's just for
Look, I'm 50 years old.
use.
I'm trying to
Oh.
keep up.
Man, you are turning 50 in a couple of weeks. Oh, my God. Y'all getting old.
Y'all really getting old. That's wild.
My wife is wonderful and virile. She need me strong.
Is she younger than you, James?
No, she older than me. So
Oh,
she healthier than me. She
That's
got
awesome.
less stress in her life.
Cougar. Get it, girl.
That's right.
Get somebody young.
I'm married.
Take the wheelchair.
I'm
right.
married up.
Get them young so they can keep that chair. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. Y'all
Be
funny to me. So look, we talking about wellness,
Oh, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
recently, since we talked about church stuff and church people, recently I watched a video with TD Jakes. It was his Father's Day sermon, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, he was killing that day. He was
Yeah.
killing.
And he said a lot of things that the math just ain't mathing, y'all. Because you want women to be independent, have their own.
Who said that? Who
Hold
said any
on.
of those things?
Every single song you
You ain't
listen
never heard me say
all
that.
these
You heard
dudes-
them. You heard
all
them
these
soft
dudes-
songwriters
all
write
these
that. You ain't hear
dudes
that.
pay $29.95 for a microphone to make a podcast online. They all say the same thing, that they want their women to have their own stuff. But when they get a woman with their own stuff, somebody said, I can't even remember the guy. It was one of these guys paid $30 for a microphone on Amazon. He said something to the point of, you have all these things, you've priced yourself out. So you tell us to do all these things, you tell us to be all these things, and then when we are these things, oh, you're too good to have a man. I don't understand.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at James because he just read something.
I'm
He
like,
just
wait
read
a minute.
something.
In the box.
I'm sorry, Ebony. Yo,
No, you're fine.
it's like a delayed reaction. It was a delayed reaction.
No, I read it like 5 minutes ago, and then I was like, wait a minute.
God.
Anyhow, so what Jakes was saying was that basically that women, if you keep telling a man, I don't need you, then don't be upset by his disconnected state, because he's never going to stay where he doesn't feel needed. But here's the point.
You don't need them.
No, if a woman says, I don't need you, I got my own.
But you heard what I said, right?
I heard what you said, but I'm saying what Jake said.
And these men and these churches that tell us to better ourselves, do all this stuff, do all these things for yourself. But then you have to learn how to be submissive. I guess my question is,
no, I want her to dig this ditch a little deeper. Because you went somewhere else with this.
It's not a ditch. But my question is, because all of this ties into the purity culture and all of that stuff too. But my question is this, and this is a sincere question to the church. Why don't you teach everyone how to be the best them they can be, and not you have to do these things, you have to do these things, you have to submit to this, and you have to do that. Why is that taught when everybody is really trying to get the same things?
But I think it is. I think that it's the way as people
It's
take
the
it,
interpretation.
because what he's saying is that there's nothing wrong with bettering yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting for yourself. The problem is that when some women get to that point, they think that they become so superior that they don't need a man. That's what the problem is.
That's not
It's,
true.
well, yes, it is,
That's
because
not,
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. My first wife was like that. That she got to the point that she was like, well, what I need a man for, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. And I was like, well, you know what? If that's the case, you don't need me. Because she got to the point to where she thought it was so deep about what all she had and this and that, it caused the friction, it caused us to break up. So you do have women like that get to that point to where they think that they don't need no man to do nothing, they can do everything themselves and all this, and that's good and stuff. But here's the thing: you still need a man, and if you got the right man, I don't care what you got. I'm still the head of the house, and I'm not going to show you by saying it. I'm going to show you by my actions.
but how,
And
that's my question, but that's my thing. Like, how do you even get an opportunity to show if you look at someone who has all these things and you have those thoughts? You don't I can tell you honestly, yes, there are women like that, but there are also men like that. So I'm not going to do the not all men, not all women pullback. But for the majority of women that I know that have climbed the corporate ladder, that have done all these things, all they want is somebody who will listen to them, have fun with them, and relax and chill. It's
They
not.
get a dog for that.
What does that have to do with a companion? If you are able, you're
I'm
able
saying, but a
to
companion does that, and I'm not being
you're
facetious,
able to do your
but
own
I
stuff. You're not dependent on him to do these things for you. So it should be no pressure. It should be better. Oh wow, she doesn't need me here. She wants me here.
so but Eb, I think
No
but here's a dog. This is what I mean. This is what I meant by it, and I wasn't trying to make light of it, but it was a keen observation. You said you want someone to listen to you, to chill. I forget what the third one, and that's what my dog does for me.
I didn't say, I don't mean
Have
listen
fun.
in the terms
I'm
of you
I'm
do what I
I'm
say do. I say listen as in someone to talk to, not to tell what to do. Someone to have
Okay,
conversations.
but what I'm saying
That I
is
mean,
from the perspective of a man, what do for the male for a male, not a female, what a male tells you he wants is and what he wants to be for you, there's validity to that. You can't tell him what to be for you. He has to be.
He has to be it. He already has to be. He already has to be
I
involved
can't
in.
become what you want. I
I'm
have
not
to be
saying,
accepted. And
yeah,
this is
that's
what
okay.
I'm
Okay, but
offering you, and what I'm offering you, I want you to need what I'm offering you. And if
right,
you don't, then there's no need for a man to be there. And a woman has to understand that, not convince me otherwise. Because then I'm not being a man, I'm being what a woman has imagined a man to be.
You're being what she wants you to be.
I don't
right,
think
right.
You're literally following and this is what gets some women
I
in
don't think you
trouble.
guys are listening to what I'm saying. But
Well, help us understand then, because what I'm missing
what
is
I'm
the.
saying is this: if you are this, let's just, we're creating a persona. We're creating this woman who has, she's gone to college, she's educated, she works, she owns her own things. She's at a place in her life where she wants to be married, she wants to have children, she wants to do all these things. She meets this man. This man is great. He's fun, he's cool, he's everything. He does not, all he has to do literally is be himself. That's all he has to do. She does not require him to buy things. She does not require him to do things. She just requires him to be who he is. And that's
But
a
here's the thing,
problem for some people. And I don't understand why.
because here's the
Well,
thing.
I don't want anything from you.
It's
I just want you to be my mate and do fun stuff with me and have a good time. I don't need
but
money from you. I don't need you to put 20 on the light bill. I don't need you to do any of those things. I just want
But
you to be here with me and be my companion.
But that's why. But here's
that's what
the
the
thing.
problem
Go
is.
ahead, Jerry.
That's what the problem is, because now is he being what he wants to be, or is he being what you want him to be?
She literally said, I just want you to be who you are. That's what she literally, those are her words. I just
Here's the
want you to be who you are. I don't need anything from you.
It's-
I don't
Eb,
but what?
require,
Eb,
I don't
can I
Ebony,
read
hold
a
on, Ebony.
scripture? Can I
Hold
read
on,
a
Ebony.
scripture to you?
require you to do these things for me.
Can I
Hold
read a
on, Eb.
scripture?
Who you
Can I
are.
read a scripture?
Hold on, Ebony.
Sure.
Who you bringing in, Don?
No. I'm just telling her hold on. She was talking. I was on mute her so we can get a word in.
But this one, let me read this. This is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. Check this. Where'd Jerry go?
He got bad internet.
Oh, you got
even
that
in
weak
Dallas.
internet all the time.
Yeah.
Listen to this, Eb. Tell me if this is what you're saying. It says, and in that day, this is Isaiah chapter 4, in that day, 7 women shall take a hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, and to take away our reproach. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be childless. I don't need anything else from you. Just connect with me, and I'll just. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The man says, the woman says, this is a prophecy that the time will come when women won't need anything from men except the connection to make children and to remove the reproach of loneliness and lack of legacy and those things that happen in a patriarchal or even a matriarchal society. And this is not a good thing that I'm reading.
So I mean, and let me say this.
Y'all getting the thinker on me tonight.
It is. It's a good thing. It's not.
Put it on
It is.
screen.
It is a great thing. What you just read, Ebony. To your point, though, it can't be. She can't demand him to be one thing when he's already another thing. Listen to me. Listen to me. As men, we're natural hunters, right? We're hunters. We want to hunt. We go for the hunt. So we find the mate. We hunted for her. We caught her. Now it's always great to have equals. It's always great for if she has her own, he has her own. They're bringing the same amount into a relationship. They're equals. So if it's a partnership, if it's a mate, if it's a partnership, what's the problem with splitting? What's the problem with everything being equal?
No, there's not a problem with it. If it comes to that point and he moves in and is like, hey, these are the things that I'm going to do. And then okay, cool. Or he can say, hey, you decide what you want me to take care of and I'll take care of it. However that works for them, however that looks for them, that's great.
What about we decide what we want to split?
Right. Okay. Yes. That too. Whatever.
But no. Listen
Get
to me.
together
Hear me.
and make your decisions. But what I'm saying is, why is it a problem for men when women literally just want men to be with them?
We don't want to be listen. It's okay, bro. You said
I'm
what
not
you said.
worried about all the other stuff. I've got that stuff taken care of. You don't have to worry about it.
Because I'm gonna tell you why right now. I'm going to tell you why right now. Because for so long we've been told, especially black men, that we're not worth anything. We're not this. We're not that. So when we have our own, when we have it going on, and we find another person that has it going on, also, we want to share. We want to take care of. We want to be the people we want to be the man that says, "Hey, I can take care of this. You keep yours for you," because that's just who we are.
I would automatically assume that. But y'all are turning pretzels and stuff around my question. My question is, what is the problem with being with a person who has their own? Why does it have to be this, oh, you have these things, so it makes me feel less of a man because you already have
Well, who the hell said that?
None of us.
None of us said that. None of us have said that.
lots of
Mo, what's up?
What up, Mo?
Because we have no problem. We have no problem with a woman having that. Here's where the problem is: when it starts to become, an issue of power. When a man says, "Okay, well, baby, I need you to do this," Well, I bring the same amount to the table.
It's
If
about
we
power.
say, yeah, it
Well, what
starts to
happened to wait, Dante just said, why can't we sit down together and be as equals and work this out? Why you got to tell, hold on, why you got to tell me if we both make the agreement that we come to this table as equals, you're not going to tell me, we're going to have a discussion.
because there's the problem. Because most women, when they get into that structure and that status, it's like, okay, it's all about this here. If you say that the man is the head of the house, that means that he leads. That means that he leads.
My dad was the head of the house, but if something popped off, he went to my mom. He asked my mom before he did anything. So it wasn't.
He was a smart man.
I mean, so my mom,
I didn't ask your mom nothing.
To my
He
mom.
was a smart man.
Or he would defer it. Hey, you take care of this. Like when we were gonna have our kitchen remodeled, my dad was like, I don't want to know shit but the cost. You figure out all that other stuff. I don't care.
But that's certain things. Because here's the thing, even in my house, there's certain things I don't want to know about. I want to know what the price is so that now I can start to budget it out and things like that. Because even if you look at the Bible days, the woman was the tender of the house, the man was the tender of the field. But the problem is that when those lines are crossed, and let's be honest, we know women that they get all this stuff and they're like, I don't need a man for this. I can do all this stuff for myself. That's a lot.
Well, but I'm a single mom. I had to do it all myself.
Right.
I didn't have a choice. If I didn't do it, it wasn't getting done. So
all right. So hold on, Ebony. Hold on, Mo. You just joined. What's up? What's going on?
Yeah,
brother?
I just wanted to just get in real quick because I got some work going on, but I just want to slide in. Ed, you were saying how women who have it or have all the essentials and they just want a man's company and they just want to enjoy spend time.
Let's just be
What's wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with having a sugar mama if that's what you want, because that's what it turns out to be. Any dude in his right mind, when it's that large of a gap and he is not needed.
No, it's not a
sugar
mama.
Leave a woman who is a lawyer that makes 8 figures and go with the.
No, I'm not a. It's not a sugar mama situation. I just pay my own bills and I don't require.
Ebony,
no. Hear what I'm saying. You said he doesn't. I don't need you to do nothing. But to go on vacation with me. Give me some companionship. This is where Haas was like, you can get a dog. I wouldn't want you to necessarily get a dog, but
I got a dog.
This is the thing that you're saying is it's nothing wrong with it. Well, then you have to consider.
Just got to find a man who wants that.
Right. Well, that
consider his mentality. A guy who is not needed will leave someone who has everything and go to somebody who just appreciate him fixing the sink.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say you can't fix the sink.
No. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
He didn't say that.
Y'all are still.
This is the same way with women. Women want to feel love.
So wait, Mo. I get it. All 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5 men on here are too dense to understand what Ebony is saying, and so it's frustrating her right now.
Don't be frustrated.
I don't want you to be frustrated.
Not as smart as we
like y'all don't, because y'all have, some of y'all have daughters or women that you have helped raised or been around when you raised them. Yes or no? Yes.
Absolutely.
Consensus is yes. You did not tell these girls. You told these girls to do what? Go to school, get a degree, get a good job, live your life,
Make your own money.
You told your girls to do these things, and then they don't have husbands, and you like, I don't know why she ain't got no husband, because you
said that either. Never said that either. None of us said it. None of us has said that. None of us are saying any of the things you're saying men are saying. We're not saying those things. And so the premise of but we're not telling her, oh, you don't have a husband, what's wrong with you? None of us are saying those things.
Okay. Well, no, that was the sermon.
And when she's doing well by herself, I'm proud of her. My wife is my sugar mama. She make good money, but I don't ask her for nothing.
Here's the bigger thing. And find somebody that's on your same level.
Right.
Find
I agree.
somebody that's on your same level, so you don't have to take care of no Negro, and no Negro has to take care of you. Because what happens is,
Hey,
especially if
wait
you're
a
not.
minute though.
Hold on a second. I didn't. We let
Go
you
ahead,
talk
go
for
ahead,
like
go
an
ahead.
hour. We let you talk for
Go
like an
ahead.
hour.
Because I'm about to mess y'all up, but go ahead.
We let you talk like an hour. Hush, hush. Listen, but because what happens is this. What happens is, for either party, I would never ever want to put one of my wife's daughters in a position with someone where they're the sole breadwinner and they can just tell them to get the hell out at any time. And because they don't have their own, they have nowhere to go, and vice versa. I would never
Right.
want my nephews to be in that position where they're with a female that's making so much money and she's doing everything for him that she gets mad because she got her own. She can tell him to get out. It's just, to me, there has to be balance. There has to be balance all the way around in the relationship.
But also, Eb was talking about people just dating. She wasn't talking about in a marriage, right?
Right. I'm saying dating too.
You got to crawl before you ball. Like you got to
Okay.
get there.
Cool. Well, if y'all
And that's
just
when you
kicking
figure
it,
out, okay, these are the
spend the
things I
money.
can do
Spend
with.
this
These are
money
the
if
things
you
I
just
can't
kicking
do
it.
with. Whatever.
First of all, if we're just kicking it, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about in
Go on,
2022. I don't know
Well,
about
you know,
2022, but my attitude is this: if people are just dating, then everybody, I ain't paying your bills if I'm just
Everybody
dating you.
take care of
Pay your own bills.
Dante, you buy me dinner every time you come out here. Be
But
quiet.
I'm not dating you.
I know, I'm just kidding.
but you know what? Just I tell my sons and my daughters. I got 3 older kids. I got 2 boys and a girl. My stepdaughter just turned 30. And my thing was with her was that, I mean, I heard that like Kevin Hart.
She said, "Damn."
I was inhaling when I did.
She's like,
I was inhaling. I didn't know you heard me.
She said, "Damn."
So, but like I've always told her, I was like, look, get out there and work, do what you got to do, but you also got to know that, listen, you can't do everything. Sometimes you're gonna need a man in your life. I mean, she's a hard worker and everything, but and the little guy that she got now, little guy she dating now, a cool little dude.
First of all, the fact that you called him a little guy and you keep saying a cool little dude, I mean, he said it twice. Yeah, the little guy and the cool little dude.
He 5'6", Jerry.
About 5'7", something like that. So it's
What up, too short?
right. I'm 6'3". So
what
I
up,
mean,
giant?
ain't too much you gonna say to me. And so,
Jerry walk in and be like, "What up, little man?" He be like, "What's up?"
He's like,
just like I teach my sons, I tell my sons, I say, listen, I say, don't you ever depend on a woman to do nothing for you. I was like, you was raised to be a king, man. You go out there and do what you're supposed to do. You shouldn't be moving into no woman's house. You should be preparing a house so she move in with you. That wife move in with you. Man, it was like, nah. I mean, even in the house that we in now, it was like it was passed down, but I had that thing gutted and I did it the way we wanted to. So that, listen, I paid a mortgage on that because in the end, I want to show them that, listen, this is what men do. Men provide, men take care. I mean,
but I don't think women are hearing us on that one, Jerry. And for those of us who have the capabilities and preparation to provide at that level, and then for those who don't, there's a different perspective. It depends on the man. That's why it's not across the board. I look, when I was broke, I didn't ask my wife for nothing.
Right.
I'd go and pick up bottles and boil macaroni, and dig quarters out the couch, to make it happen. But that was me. That ain't everybody.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I even think that's a little
There's some pride in that. It's fine.
I think it's a little shaky because men ask women for stuff.
Oh, but the things I ask her for are not in the perspective of my provision.
Right. Women
I need
provide
things from her.
True.
There is a requirement, no matter how. There is a reciprocation in every relationship. There's a give and take. There's a pull and a push in every relationship. So there's no way that we're gonna sit here and say that we don't ask women for stuff.
But Mo, and I think that really begs to Ev's point, is that can a woman handle being in a relationship with a man who says, I don't need you?
Yeah. We get them all the time.
Did you say all the time?
We get on lots of rotations at certain points in our lives.
I
Yes.
don't need you.
You know what that is? We know what it is, though. And that's the thing. We're not delusional about it. We absolutely know exactly what it is. But let me tell y'all this. I am not a feminist by the Caucasian standard. I am not that type of feminist. I have no problem with the patriarchy working for me. I don't have to work. If you got it, I'll take it. I'm good. You can do whatever you want to do. It's cool. I ain't got to go to work. Bet. That's the ultimate feminism, though. Letting the patriarchy work for you.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly. Well, this has been an insightful night. What are you flicking?
Oh,
I know. I didn't even want to ask.
sorry. It's Cole's little thing. He's playing.
Oh, that's not what it looked like.
I thought it was. I thought you had a whip. I was like, why?
No, it's a toy, and he plays fetch. So
I was like, what's going on over there?
very intelligent. My dog plays fetch.
Wow.
Hey,
Bring it back. Want me to throw it again.
I thought she had a whip to go along with that pole sitting in the room.
I thought it was something else. I didn't go say what it was.
You see, you gotta let Mo know things. There's a stripper pole in my back bedroom. I'm not taking any questions.
Mo was like, wait a minute.
Yo, y'all stupid. And we only know this. We only know this because she's done a few shows from the back room.
He's a liar. He only knows it because I did a show in the back and you could see it behind me.
That's what I said.
That's what he said.
That's what I just said.
More ass shows.
Oh no, not those. No,
those type of shows. But no,
you are the worst.
But no, I moved out of there because I didn't want it to get weird for y'all.
Hey, Dante.
It's just
the scenes from P Valley was taped in there.
Fun fact, one of the male strippers on P Valley, he used to do hair at the place I used to get my hair done in San Diego.
I don't even care about that.
Very talented.
I'm not talking about that show.
Hairdresser. Very talented hairdresser.
Whatever. Listen, I thank y'all for joining me tonight, man, for running us tonight. This has been an insightful conversation. We talked about everything. We talked about monkeypox. We talked about Trump calling LeBron the B word. We talked about
Don. I have a question.
Go ahead.
About the interest rate hikes.
Oh yeah. So go ahead.
So I was talking to my boy. I'm really about to do some investing, but I was talking to him, and these interest rate hikes are affecting those who have variable rate, adjustable rate mortgages now, and especially on their home equity loans, that there's going to be a wave of foreclosures because of the they priced themselves out. You don't agree?
Yeah. Here's the catch on. Here's the kicker on that. Not too many people now on the equity lines. Yeah, the equity lines are definitely tied to ARMs. But the rates were so low on them that them going up 75 basis, it's like a credit card, right? You only pay on the money that you borrow, and not everybody's not overly encumbered. Everybody has not taken all their draws on their rates.
So this is not like the 80s.
Nah.
Not like 2008.
I was gonna get to the other point is it's also those payments on most equity loans are interest only. So, it can be affordable. Now, if they're paying principal, if you have full principal and interest, then there might be a problem. This is not
I was getting excited that there would be some sort of bloodbath afterward, and we'd be able
to. There are a lot of people still in forbearance from COVID from 2020. There might be some problems there, but the economy, there are jobs out there. So people are working, people are earning money. So it's not like that. And then rates were already so low from, 17, 18, and 19 going into 2020 that these rate increases right now aren't going to have the impact like it did before. Now in 06, in the crash of 07, so 03 to 07, 08, that crash, everyone was in ARMs. Everyone had an option ARM. Everyone had, they were paying something below interest on their loan. So then when it reset like crazy. And then people weren't making their payments. And then you had people that own, 19, 20 properties on literally making $12 an hour working at McDonald's, making $12 an hour working at McDonald's, but they claim on the application they're making $40,000 a month. So, that's a totally different setup. Now
they
with
were
it,
lying.
there were a lot of people lying. That's why they were called liar loans. A lot of people were lying to get the loans that they had. So it's different. It's different.
So you don't see a market correction that can be taken advantage of by any low resource investors in the next 6 months.
I see a market correction where there's going to be inventory available and you're not going to have 20, 30 contracts on a home. You may have 2 or 3.
Okay, that's the bidding wars.
The bidding wars will be gone at that point because there'll be.
It's not I heard it said, this was in the New York Times, no, in Fortune, they said that there won't be a decrease in prices, but there will be a deceleration of the rate of growth on the houses.
Correct. So you'll have more inventory available. So it's going to become a buyer's market versus the seller's market that it is right now. Right now, it's the seller's market. Sellers are taking 20, 30 bids on homes. Right. You know that. You just sold your house, so you know that. I didn't mean to put your business out there like that. But it's a seller's market. I'm sorry.
Don't nobody ask me for nothing. I ain't got nothing.
Right. He ain't got nothing.
Don't come to the church either.
Don't come to the church. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, don't go to Kingdom thinking you're going to pull with them Negroes pulled in Brooklyn, all right? They got shooters. They got shooters for real. I'm telling you right now, don't play.
We're not violent. Tupac is a deacon at my church. I'll show you pictures. And he says, I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
Don't play yourself.
I tell somebody the same thing at my church. I say, you run up if you want to. I say, you think I keep a bag with me now all the time? I say, my Bible in there. I say, but there's something else up in there too. So,
yeah, I ain't got no drumsticks, but
I got something else. So yeah, no, the interest rate hikes, while it's going to impact like credit, pay your credit cards off, pay off your debt that's tied to variable interest rates, credit cards.
Yeah, because they're gonna take your money.
Of that nature, because they're going to rise. But mortgage rates might go down just a little bit. The last time they raised the overnight rates went down a little bit, so rates may go down. Not much, but they'll still, they'll stabilize. But again, it's going to become a buyer's market versus a seller's market within the next 6 months. So there'll be the opportunity for low-lying investors to go out there and find those gems that you're looking for. But where you are,
yeah, it's not. It's
rough.
What it is.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's about supply and demand, and you live in the New York metropolitan area. That's going to be very difficult. So for those that are looking to invest, go to the Midwest, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. Don't go to St. Louis right now.
They got bacteria in the ground.
Yeah, it's been flooding there for the last couple of days. So. Yeah, you don't want to mess with that.
Don't come to Oklahoma.
So 9:30 tomorrow morning, Better Living with Dr. James Hassel on his Facebook page. Go follow him. Mo Richardson, he's doing his thing. You need some graphic work done, some video work done. He's doing his thing. Congratulations, by the way, Elder Maurice Richardson.
EL.
Hey. You got it. Hey. Don't look at me like that. Brother Jerry down in Oakland from OKC, doing
in Dallas this weekend.
In Dallas, you're trying to get your last vacation in before those bad kids come back to school.
Yeah, man. We start back Monday.
Oh man, Ed, what you writing on this week? I know you're writing, so what we got going on?
I've been working on my UX person certificate. So
okay, what does that mean?
A person who does UX designs websites.
Okay.
It's like website design. You put the right colors. You make sure it's accessible to everybody, and put the vision together for the company and make their website nice.
All right. Well, there you go. Everybody has something going on. Everybody got something going on.
I just got to do something with my hands, because if I'm not, I'll be baking bread, and I lost 25 pounds. I don't want to gain it back.
Yo, I'll text you. I'll text you on that.
Jerry ain't text me in a minute,
Yo.
Hold on a second.
Don't y'all go nowhere. Hold on a second. Let me play us out. Hold on. Don't y'all go nowhere. We out of here. Y'all have a good weekend. Y'all have a good night. We're out of here.